There was nothing you could have done to stop what happened.
It's James Gordon, detective.
My name is Bruce Wayne.
I will find the man who did this.
There's a war coming. There will be chaos.
Stop! How you like Gotham so far?
Everybody, welcome back to Watch Shane Watch Stuff. I'm Shane Andrews, and today we're going to be talking about the first episode of Gotham, the pilot episode that just aired last Monday. Pretty crazy show, and I must say, first off, just a disclaimer to everyone out there, I am not a person who's actually read any Batman comics or any Batman graphic novels. I've never read any single one of them. I am a fan of a lot of the different Batman film and TV that's been out over the years. I remember growing up on the old Batman animated series, and also I really enjoyed, I am a lover, I will admit, of the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. I love those films. I know some people are not as excited about them as other people are, but I like them. I think they were fun. I thought they were great, especially the Dark Knight I thought was the best of the three. But setting all that aside, so I'm not a super unfamiliar person with the Batman world, but I did want to get that out of the way just in case you're like, wait a minute, that's not according to the comics, or you don't really know what you're talking about, Shane. But hey, I do know a little bit about the Batman world. Just a disclaimer, if there is something I totally missed though, that's because I'm not a big fan of the comics or graphic novels, just haven't read them. So getting into the show, that show, I was a little bit nervous about it. When I was seeing all the ads coming on, I thought, oh, is this just going to be another typical kind of pre-superhero show? Kind of like I was thinking, I like Smallville. I thought it was a fun show to watch, but I wasn't absolutely in love with it. I checked out the Arrow for a little bit on the CW. It's alright, I kind of like it, but I'm not like sold on it. And I knew this is coming from some of the similar creative teams behind those shows, like just kind of the back total suits from Warner Brothers. So I was thinking, I don't know what this is going to be like. I don't know if I'm going to like it, if I'm going to hate it, what I'm going to think about it. But I must say, I was very pleasantly surprised. Gotham was a pretty solid show. I actually really enjoyed it. I felt like it moved along at a good pace, but wasn't too slow that it wasn't uninteresting. And I felt like there was a lot of cool Easter eggs, especially for people who know stuff about Batman. If you know some of the different villains that are in it, you see a lot of little glimpses of them throughout the episode, which we're going to talk about some of those in a few minutes here. So, if you haven't seen the episode yet, I will warn you there will probably be some mild spoilers in this review, so this is the time to check out now. Go watch the episode, check it out. It's a pretty good, pretty well done. I think you're going to like it, especially if you're a fan of kind of crime procedural shows, or if you're a fan of just Batman in general, you're probably going to like Gotham. It really is a top-notch job that they've done, and I feel like they've been very faithful to Batman in general to work on this project. So let's just dive right in. First off, James Gordon is the detective in the show who's kind of our lead. He's just kind of started as a detective in Gotham City, and so it's kind of following him as he goes throughout the city solving different crimes and tracking down murderers. And the first murder that we start off with is none other than the murder of Bruce Wayne, who becomes Batman, his parents. So we have this murder that happens, and I must say, I thought that the scene surrounding this murder of Bruce Wayne's parents was incredible. The way that they filmed, the angles, the just acting throughout the whole thing, just everything about it was top notch. It was done perfect. You can tell they put a lot of thought into how that scene would go down and how they could best portray it. Also, the thing that I was so just struck by, and I had to actually pause when I was watching it, because I just had to stop and take in the job that the kid playing Bruce Wayne did. His name is David, and he just did an amazing job, especially at the end after his parents are murdered on the ground. The scream that he gives out, you can tell this is just something that has gone deep to the heart of who Bruce Wayne is, and it's something that affects him greatly. And it just is an incredible, if you don't watch it for any other reason than just to watch that scene, do it. It was just so well done. So James Gordon comes along the scene along with his detective partner Harvey Bullock, who is a character from the comics, I understand. And so James Gordon comes along, and this is pre-Commissioner Gordon. Throughout the whole episode they call him James instead of Jim, and so I was wondering when that's going to come in, when they're going to start calling him Jim instead of James. But James Gordon is his name, and so he's going along through the episode and trying to solve this murder of who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents. And this is a little bit of a spoiler here, so if you need to check out because you don't want to hear any spoilers, time to check out from this review. But by the end of the episode, it's pretty clearly set up that throughout this whole entire season, and probably, I don't know if they'll drag it out through the entire show, throughout the whole series, but through probably at least this season, we're going to probably be getting clues as to who it was that murdered Bruce Wayne's parents. It was very interesting during the murder. The murderer looks at Bruce Wayne in the eye, and they make some eye contact, but the murderer decides not to murder Bruce Wayne, which I thought was very interesting, and was wondering who is it that they've had in Gotham kill Bruce Wayne's parents. From what I understand, through a quick little bit of research, throughout the rest of the comics and in the different incarnations of Batman, it's always been a little bit different as to who actually murdered Bruce Wayne's parents, and so that's always a little bit of a mystery. So it seems like Gotham is doing its own thing as well in coming up with who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents. So we're going to have to find out who that is as we go along through the show. But I thought, James Gordon, he does a pretty good job. He's kind of a typical male lead in a crime procedural show. So I wasn't like blown away by what he'd done. It kind of seemed somewhat typical of most of these sorts of crime police shows. So that was a little bit interesting, but I think as the series goes on, his character will progress, and we'll get to see more and more of him and how he grows throughout all of this. Because I think the standout from this entire episode was Harvey Bullock, the detective partner that is partnered with James Gordon. I think he is really the standout from this entire episode. His acting and the way that the characters portrayed was incredible. I thought he did a really good job. He was really top-notch and really did steal every scene that he was in. So I think that was a very interesting thing to have happen. Also, the kid who plays Bruce Wayne, he did a really fantastic job kind of balancing trying to be a little bit stoic, but also being a kid who's just lost his parents. And there's a scene at the funeral where you see him, he's trying to be strong, and then he starts to lose it and runs back to the car with Alfred. Which leads me to talk about Alfred. Okay, I'll be honest. Alfred's not my favorite here. And we haven't seen a lot of him yet. And so maybe as the series goes on, we'll get to see more of him. So I'm giving it a pass for now. But I will admit, I thought it was a little hard to really like this Alfred. It just was not, the way he played it was a little tough and a little rougher and a little bit like at one part he's yelling at Bruce Wayne to get down off the roof and just seemed very out of character for Alfred, and I just did not absolutely love it. And I think, I'll be honest, true confession here, I really think I have Michael Caine's performance in my head from the Dark Knight trilogy that Christopher Nolan put out, and I think I just loved Michael Caine as Alfred so much. I will admit I'm a Michael Caine fan, that it's hard for me to get onto a new actor playing Alfred when Michael Caine, I felt, did so well and did such a good job with it. So we'll see what happens. I'm giving it room. I always like to give, especially these pilots of a new show, I always give them 3 episodes to kind of get their feet rolling, because I know that it's always difficult to set everything up. And especially in this episode, we had a lot of setup going on. From the very beginning, we have Selina Kyle, who's seen kind of in the background of a few scenes. She's seen robbing some different stuff, who she later becomes Catwoman. So we're going to be probably seeing more of her, and actually the next episode is called Selina, I believe. So we're going to be seeing probably more about her origin story and what's going to happen with her. But so she's in it, and we also have Edward Nygma, who becomes the Riddler, who's actually working for the police, which I thought was very interesting, helping to solve the crime a little bit. And you have a very great interaction between him and James Gordon when James Gordon solves a riddle that he's giving him in a very quick amount of time that really seems to bug Edward Nygma. We also have a major player in this episode was Oswald Cobblepot, who becomes the Penguin later on. He's throughout the entire episode, and that actor, I must say, he did a really good job playing that character. Just like this slight, just maniac feel to him. Just kind of a little bit crazy throughout the whole thing, and just very much relishing the moments where he is hurting other people, where he's committing crimes. It was almost creepy, and just the smirk that the guy gets on his face. It was creepy, I will admit, but I thought he did a good job with it. So we have those characters. There's a few others that are throughout the episode that are kind of popping up here and there. I thought it was very interesting. We also have Carmine Falcone, the mob boss, who is introduced, and I thought, is a kind of a typical part for the actor that played him, but seemed like he was doing a good job. I liked it. I thought he did it well with the Falcone character. And also we have a new character played by Jada Pinkett Smith, which I thought was very interesting and I thought very intriguing. Her name is Fish Mooney, and so we don't really know. She's not, apparently from the little research that I've done, she's not from the comics. She's not been in any other incarnations of Batman to this point, and she's a new character for Gotham, but I thought it was an excellent character. She's kind of working with Falcone, kind of under him, but she's got her own set of mob people working for her, and so she's very, very just threatening, kind of treacherous, and you can tell that this is a lady you do not mess with. And so she kind of comes in contact with Harvey Bullock. They have some sort of relationship there, so that was very interesting. I thought they did a really good job with her. Every scene she was in, she also stole every scene. So very interesting, very good job that I felt like they did with a lot of the different characters. I also thought that the look of the show in general was really great. I feel like the Gotham City looks very fresh. It doesn't look kind of like a recycled city. It doesn't look like a typical American city. It's just kind of, it has its own look. It's very unique, a little dark, a little brooding, but very fresh. It didn't look like just kind of the typical city. So I thought they did a good job with that, giving it kind of a unique flavor, that like little bit of gothic flavor that I think Batman's always had. So I think that was a really good job. And also, I must say, the set of Gotham Central, where the police station is, was incredible. I think they just really went over the top with that set. I thought it was really awesome. The little details they put in, it just looked super great. Thought they did such a good job with that set. So all said, I really did like the episode. I'm definitely going to watch the next episode as it comes out on Monday and on Fox, and I think it was a great, great introduction to this series. I actually, by the end of the episode, I was like, all right, I'm on James Gordon's team. I'm with him. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go find out what's going on in Gotham. And I'm really excited to see what they do with more of these origin stories and just how many of these supervillains that we know from Batman are going to come in. Which ones are they going to have? And so that's the question I ask you today. What villains would you like to see Gotham really going after and talking about their origin story? We have so far like the Riddler, we've got Penguin, we've got Catwoman, a couple others. And so which ones would you really like to see explored coming up in the future of this series and even this season? So thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed just talking a little more about Gotham. I really liked the episode. I hope you go check it out. It was really well done. I thought they did a really good job with it. So check that out. Definitely a great episode, and we'll be talking about the Selena Kyle episode on Monday. So check back for that review. And other than that, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye.